Hello, my name is Debreus, and I'm here to speak to you about Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, I know there's some people out there that are going to highly disagree with a lot of my views on it. But, Konami, what is going on with you? You created a game that, for years, I have been literally in love with this game since it first came out. And after my spouse passed away, I decided to get back into playing the game, but man, has it changed so drastically. And yes, I know my teeth are a little yellow. I drink too much coffee. Let's just say that. But, what's going on with the game, you know? Some of these rules are just too ridiculous. I am so glad that they first put a big kibosh on the Zodiacs, the biggest cheat engine ever created. Okay, so now, some really good cards for their effects, like Protector of the Sanctuary, so that your opponent cannot draw cards. Okay? So, tell me how that card you cannot activate Tricks or Reincarnation, Present card, while that's on the field because it can't resolve. There's many cards that you can't activate that you can't resolve. Look at Royal Decree. It says the effects cannot go off, but yet you can still activate trap cards. Their effects just will not resolve. So, how does Royal Decree allow you to still activate if the trap card cannot resolve? Secondly, they allow cards like Fairy Tale Snow, which, if you banish 7 cards, you can special summon her from the graveyard. So even if you Solemn Strike it, she could chain to herself, not even having a second copy in the graveyard, which, Konami, come on now. You can have 3 copies of a card that could be continuous. You know, granted you do have limitations, you need to banish 7 cards at a time, but come on. It should be a once per turn type of thing. Especially since you have cards on the ban list that, I'm sorry, are nowhere near OP to comparison to some of the cards today. You know? Take a look at Pendulums. Okay? Black Fang, for example. He can be destroyed, sent to the extra deck, his effects goes off, you Solemn Strike it, it gets sent to the graveyard, hit effect still goes off. That's not strategy. To where you need 4 cards or more just to block every effect that goes off for 1 card. Is that playing the game? This game used to represent taking time out of your day, taking thousands of cards and narrow it down to 40 to 60. You created your own build. Your friends might give you ideas and all that stuff, but it was your own style. Nowadays, it's just, let me buy this deck, let me copy it off of YouTube. Oh, I'm a great player because I'm stealing somebody else's idea and I know exactly how the game is played. No. You're basically copying and pasting. You know, you're plagiarizing. You're taking credit for somebody else's idea, somebody else's concept. You know? It should be a luck of the draw and taking what's in your hand and playing with those. You know, it was like a real-life RPG in a way. And since I've gone back in, I've realized that's not what this game represents anymore. Luck of the draw strategy is no longer really a part of it. And then when you talk to most duelists today that are based their whole life on these strategies, they're like, oh, the game's not broken. Oh, this is right. I don't see the problem. Of course you don't. Because it affects you. Just like some of the card texts that they put out. They're like, oh no, today's card text really is so much better. It was like, Lava Golem, for example. You contribute two of your monsters cards, your opponent's monsters, mind you, and and then it says the owner of the card takes damage. Then when they say you, they actually talk about you personally. It actually spelled it out. The text today doesn't say that. And they're like, oh, this makes more sense. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I still love the game. Don't get me wrong. I still love the game. But come on, Konami, please. You gotta create an actual database. If you're gonna take time to create these cards and put effects on them, then if you're gonna have a ruling department, they really need to create a database to where locals should should be the ones being the judges, not relying on actual players to be judges. Secondly, a lot of these rulings don't really make that much sense. Players and judges claim they know how the rules work, but you can have one judge say one thing, another judge say another thing, and all that other stuff. People who think they know how to play this game. And honestly, I think some of the judges are just as ridiculous as some of the cards. You know? Because I feel like they make the rules up as they go along, that what they think benefits them best. And that's not how this works. I think Konami needs to be held accountable for what they do. Do you know how many times I've written into Konami for rule-based questions and have gotten no response back? Why have a ruling department if you're not going to respond back? Why have a ruling department if you're just going to allow the players and random judges pretty much decide on the rulings for the tournament? Because they even say in regional, the rulings that are made here cannot be expected to be used at locals or anywhere else. So that pretty much means that the rulings are not final. The rulings are not set in stone. That means the rules can be changed. It's just rulings for this location. How stupid is that? A rule is a rule, and a rule for a card should be constant. That's not what the game is anymore. People can say, oh, Yu-Gi used to cheat. All the heroes in Yu-Gi-Oh! Used to cheat. I'm sorry. Anyone who plays a lot of the decks today, from Zodiacs, which is now dead, pendulums, in the way that they are played now, and I do apologize, I can't think of other cards. I know Trickstars is a burn deck, but it's not even as OP as people say, because honestly, there's cards that have already been out for years that pretty much do what Trickstars do. People just didn't realize what they can actually do until these cards came out. So they're not OP. Yeah, you could first turn kill. Yeah, you could do a lot of stuff with them. But they're not OP. They're far from it. Even Reincarnation is not, wow, one card, what you could pretty much do if you had Macrocosmos and Present card. Seriously? I used to do that combination a few generations ago of dueling. All they did was put in one card. And let's see. But come on, Konami. Still love the game, but you gotta do more with it and do more with this game and bring back the honor to it. You know? Well, I'm signing off. Please leave comments at the bottom. And I'm not taking away from the game itself. I'm more than willing to talk about strategy and talk about all the moving around. My little dog loves... I think she's a future star in the making because she's very much of a glory hound. But, let's have a discussion. I am not against having discussions and debates, and I do check my YouTube often and will comment on comments, you know? Especially if I see my name mentioned. So, everyone have a great day.